Alrighty, round two with Michael Inglis. I'm fucking late as shit. I'm always late. It's shocking. I always feel like I'm super late and tired. But I guess that's the thing. I don't know what that means. I always feel like I'm super late and tired. Today we are going to talk about how to cure OCD, how to cure anxiety, what this sort of clinical approach is, and I can't wait to catch up with a great man himself. So here we go. Yeah, see, that's cool because my thing is just trying to, like I said when we had a chat over the phone, it's just trying to monetize what I'm doing, and I don't know the legality. Like I'd love to eventually sort of have clients so I can just chat about and that sort of stuff, but there's probably a few legality issues there, and I mean I don't have a psychology degree or anything, so like, hey, I can probably try to help you out a bit. I've got no experience whatsoever, so pay me $1,000 and we'll go over there. All right, well, should we kick
go?
Yep. Yes. All right, well, so welcome back for all the viewers at home. We're sitting here with the great man Michael Inglis again. We're going to go for part two of our chat, and I think we touched on last time about, you know, just what the definition of anxiety was from a clinical perspective, and little intricacies it takes on in terms of OCD and all that sort of stuff. But I guess it'd be good to talk about what the clinical approach is to curing these things. So now we know what they are, how do we fucking get rid of them?
Yep.
So let's just give you a case study. Someone comes in with generalised anxiety disorder. They're talking about all these things that sort of caused it, or they may not even know what they have.
Yep.
What would your sort of approach be to that?
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Yes, obviously what...
And what happened to your eye, man? You okay?
You got a scratch.
Yeah, you got a scratch. Yeah, that was just me. I was, running a little bit late, but it wasn't me.
So yeah, the different type of treatment. So I mean, when we talk about treatments, obviously we're talking from mostly a psychologist view, but a little bit broadly is, and I'm going to talk about, there's two different forms of treatment, I guess, for mental health. Medication or psychotherapy, or psychological therapy, or some particular course. It doesn't mean that other things don't work. So if you like kinesiology or Reiki or wherever that might be, does that just say, and there's something spiritual that you believe in, that you believe works for you? We're not saying that that's not a treatment, we're just saying that there's no scientific evidence behind it. Yeah. So two treatments are medication and psychological therapy or psychological treatment. For anxiety, really, you know, it is actually more psychological treatment anyway, mainly because the type of medication you get for anxiety from your GP or psychiatrist are addictive.
Yeah, very much so.
So, and there's been issues around that. So, as opposed to depression, antidepressants, there's more likely to be medication to use than anxiety. So it's probably just good to know that.
Definitely.
It doesn't mean that anti-anxiety treatment can't be used, a medication, for those really extreme cases where people are experiencing strong panic attacks. They need that medication to help them, or some sort of support mechanism. It's the ones where they need to take them every day, that they've built high tolerance to, become addictive, blah, 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 which can remove. So I guess what I'm trying to highlight here is that anxiety, medication plays a more minor role. So therefore psychological therapy takes a greater role.
Yeah, for sure.
Its approach.
Yes.
The other component in psychological therapy, or with anxiety and presentation, it's a lot more physical in terms of its symptoms. A lot of muscle tension, a lot of breathlessness, a lot of heart palpitation. All the good stuff. So one easy way to know if you're anxious is actually pick your physical symptoms. More than your cognitive ones.
Yes.
As much as anything. So therefore the physical treatment is actually really, really important.
Absolutely. And so what are some treatments for the physical symptoms?
Well, I think there's two key ones. I mean, the two key ones I kind of prescribe, if you like, to clients, is exercise or activity.
For sure, Do you get a lot of people that are sedentary?
Yep.
Oh, right, okay,
Wow. Well, the other part is when you become more anxious, you become less active. Yeah. So you
really do.
It's become quite instinctual. Obviously your mood is lower, but it's less safe as well to go out or put yourself in the public eye, like a gym or a class. Or some of your anxiety might be related to being looked outside. So or being judged or assessed by other people. So people become less active a lot of the time. which actually perpetuates the symptoms further.
Definitely, yeah.
So activity, an activity that makes you sweat.
Yes.
So that's why. A couple of reasons. I reckon there's a bit of that kind of nervous energy that clients feel when they're anxious. It's actually really good to get rid of that nervous energy, so that the body feels calmer after exercise, but also you get all the endorphin, serotonin release.
Well, it's funny because what I only recently found out, I think, is that when you're shaking, that in itself is releasing nervous tension. It's not actually, when you look at someone on stage giving a speech or something, they're like, oh fuck, they're shaking, they're really nervous. Yep. It's actually the body releasing all that nervous tension out. Yep. So exercise to me makes a lot of sense, and to do that in a productive way, to do vigorous exercise, and then like you said, you get all that hormone release benefit as well, which is great. Yeah.
And then quite the opposite. The other physical activity to teach people is breathing and or mindfulness.
Yes.
I mean, breathing and mindfulness come together, and meditation and so on. But breathing is still the first point of call to learn. Why? Because if we learn how to breathe more effectively, or know how to intervene just by breathing, it actually calms both the cognitive, like the prefrontal cortex, and the body simultaneously. So when there's a little part of the brain called the amygdala, and that's where the breathing part activates, actually slows down the mind, slows down the body. So if you actually, the act of breathing in itself, or knowing how to do it, A, when you feel anxious, or B, just doing it everyday life so you don't have this higher level of anxiety is really important.
Well, that's really interesting to me because obviously, we've known each other for quite a while. Obviously as a client and more as I would say business partner, as a friend more, after the aftermath. But I feel like there's a big distinction between like the clinical approach and then like the mindfulness approach. But clearly, this is a place called the Mind Room. But is that almost like a niche you guys are doing where you try to bring those two together? Because it sounds like that's not a normal thing.
Incorporating
it's not being done. Yeah, like almost like the skill of meditation and mindfulness.
No, I think mindfulness in itself is becoming broader and broader in our day-to-day life, wherever we go. There's a lot of teachers out there. In terms of psychologist teachers, I think there's a lot of them out there. But it may not be the baseline of their approach, or they may not be as open about it, or actually, for us, what was really, really important, what we wanted, we wanted to be more than just a therapy place. Understanding that therapy is part of it, that's why we do the one-on-one stuff. But what we believed was we have to give people skills. And so mindfulness is a skill that you can teach and learn in our kind of relationship. That's also helpful for mental health and also helpful for whatever the presenting issues are coming through the door. So, and it's very flexible, and you can use in different sources. So, mindfulness is one particular skill. It's a primary skill because it works in different ways. But that's our template for what we want to provide is actually skills, not just listening, understanding, providing feedback. Is skill-based approach. Yes. Really important.
It just reminded me of that phrase. It's like give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man how to fish and he'll never go hungry. Teach a man mindfulness and I think it goes on that. That's good. Okay, so how would you? Because I can't even remember what we went through. But how would you teach someone mindfulness? Because I think when I've spoken to some people, they kind of go, they say, what is meditation? How do you do this? And I'm like, just focus on your breath. Like, what is that?
So you would. That's right. So I'd probably do breathing first, and then the attention to the breath, which is the first part of mindfulness, would be part 2. And then you extend to body, which is super important. And then you might even go to emotions with anxiety. So different presentations have different kind of ways of approach. But what's really, really important is you to understand what is happening with you. So the thing that I find most around anxiety-based clients or approach presentations is that they're actually more fearful of the anxiety than the anxiety itself.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because we almost build it up to be this great big scary monster that's inside of us that we need to run away from. where mindfulness actually teaches us the opposite.
Yeah, well, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
It actually tells you to look at it closer, actually almost join, be friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Know and understand more about it, and then you demystify the stigma of it all.
Yeah, exactly. Within yourself, which is obviously the most important thing. Yeah, it's a fascinating one.
So you flip it around, really.
Yeah.
And you basically become, you understanding it better, and accepting it for what it is, actually gives you empowerment over it.
Oh, massively, yeah. But just to go along with it, so why does that happen? Why do we become fearful of the fear?
Well, I mean, this is the other part of it, and also when you talk about the treatment approach, before I've done all these things around exercise and breathing and so on, I actually whiteboard, you can see whiteboards in the rooms, we actually whiteboard exactly what is happening.
Yeah.
So from the trigger, whatever the trigger might be, such as going outside in a social situation, to what are the thoughts that are attached to it, what are the emotional anxieties key there, but also what's happening within our body, what's going into our mind, obviously emotions, anxiety, but then how do we behave and how do they need to link? So I guess what I'm saying is psychoeducation is important.
Yeah.
What that means is if you've got to explain, it's like school, you explain exactly what's happening from the mind to the body to the actual behaviour and response for them to understand why they're feeling the way they're feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
So once they have a full understanding about what that's about, then you can actually teach them intervention.
Yes, yeah. And is it from a personal perspective or what you can try to help them with?
No, it's from what I can help them with. It's from their perspective, really.
Yeah, yes.
So when you say personal perspective, you mean the client?
Yeah, from the client. Yeah.
From their world. So you're almost you step into their world and see through their eyes what it's like.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I guess the easy thing with anxiety is that there are so many common characteristics where you can sort of if they're saying something, it's causing this and it's causing this, you can sort of tell if they're on the right track, if they're off it still, So what about in the case of people that try to push it away all the time and I guess shut it down? I wouldn't say the word denial, but if they can't see what's going on through all this, how would you sort of approach that? Is it just continue with the breathing and that?
They're in denial that they're experiencing the anxiety.
Well, yeah, or they're trying to, because I think the first thing for me that was really good was I was able to sort of accept that I've got an issue and then really try to see where the root cause of it was and then open the box.
Yeah.
But people that feel outside of the box, they can't get healthier because they can't see the issue.
Yeah, look, it's a good point. I think it's hard for me to kind of really comment on that because most of the people that come in here know there's something going on.
Yeah,
so the reason they're all if they were mandatory, having to come here for, which I've had the experience of, from court-based orders or their parents have sent them in or their partner has sent them in. So I've had that experience.
Yeah.
So let's work with that because it aligns with your question where they're kind of been told they've got to come in. There are some related persons are happy with them.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you need to explain why is it, in the end you try and it's all about motivation interviewing. What is it that you want to change?
Yeah.
If it's nothing, then unfortunately I've got very little to work with.
Well, yeah. If they don't want to accept it, if they don't feel like they have an issue, then what can you do? Really, yeah.
But even if it's look, I identify that my relationship with my partner is not ideal and I want to get better, then it gives me some leverage.
Yes, that's right, yeah. Just a little bit, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And if something builds on that, great, but if that's the only goal we've got in the room, then we can talk about maybe how the role of anxiety, how it plays into it.
Yeah.
So for example, and it happens a lot in partnerships, because the fear or the anxiety might be, you're going to leave me. Because you might have had some previous abandonment issues. So I might be really irritable towards you, but I'm actually just really scared you're going to go.
Yeah.
So I'm clutching onto you stronger, I'm more desperate to have you, so therefore it comes out of my behaviour, but that doesn't mean I'll be seen as anxiety.
No, it's just any sort of strong emotion.
Yeah.
So I guess, that's a really interesting point, is that mental health isn't always anxiety, depression. It's just sort of any overwhelming emotion that interferes with your life, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I just think...
Do you have people that come here with anger management issues and stuff?
Oh, yeah. And anger is a massive one. I think anger is probably the most incorrectly diagnosed presentation.
Yeah.
Because it's actually, anger comes a lot from anxiety and depressive symptoms.
Yes, definitely.
It's just what we call the secondary emotion, or what we display to the world. So we find men are much better being angry than sad.
Oh yeah. Go us.
But it's really hard because obviously when we display anger, and this is what I try and teach groups of people when we're talking about this, is that although understandably when you see someone angry, you're just like, whoa, stay out of their way. It's actually a bit of a sign. Maybe actually what they're actually saying is, I need help.
Exactly, I wanted to talk about medication as well, because in my eyes, and I guess obviously I've only got an anecdotal experience with this, and I'm only seeing. I just interviewed a former heroin addict who's a friend of mine, and I really want to get into like.
Oh, that's fair.
Oh yeah. It was really fascinating because I've known him for a while, but
drugs make mental health very fascinating in terms of the complexity.
Yes, I mean, I know, like with mine, with the hallucinogenics, like it was one way of it, but I didn't come to drugs for an escape. Like they sort of like triggered this level of anxiety, and then I started using as a little bit of a means of escape, but it wasn't ridiculous. I want to like
interesting scenario, weren't you, with that?
Because
that triggered your anxiety quite greatly. Because of your experience in that state. And then because anxiety is about fear. And suddenly your perception of the world became, man, this is really, the world is now scary after this experience.
Absolutely.
Where before that, I don't think you saw in that light.
Well, no, I didn't, but I still say it was like, in my book, it was like the best thing that ever happened to me, because although it sent me down this super volatile road, there were very significant underlying things within my own life that I just wasn't even aware of. And that's why it was good to talk about that denial stage, or like talking to someone that doesn't even feel like they have an issue. Like I first came to you because I was super anxious, didn't even know the word anxious, but I was super annoyed at myself every time I would go into a footy field. And I was always performing terribly, and we started going down, habitual things that I could do before I kicked goal and all this sort of stuff. And it helped tons, but I still felt like I was a perfectionist, and I could not for the life of me be happy. Like I didn't even know what happiness was. I thought it would mean the AFL, So when the mushrooms happened and all the hallucinogenics and the drugs and stuff, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because it literally ripped me from the inside out and showed me what the hell I'm doing wrong and what I need to do right, So it was great. It was really good. But
so you're gonna meet your friend with who's?
Oh yeah, sorry. So I'm just trying to gain perspective, because I've got a very good experience with anxiety, but it's one experience with anxiety. People get it from a multitude of reasons. But what I wanted to talk about was medication, because in my eyes and from my experience, I would look at medication as like a band-aid effect. Like you put it on whilst you're dealing with yourself, and then once you've sorted yourself out, then you can take the band-aid off. But I mean, there are some people that have been on medication, specifically antidepressants and Valium and stuff, for years and years. And I kind of feel like when someone's in such a fragile state, they'll look at anything to help them out. I mean, just because a drug's regulated and legal doesn't mean it's anything better in terms of fixing the root issue. I just want to hear your opinion on
well, heroin is a different...
Very much so.
Well, I mean, funny, heroin is... it's a hard... Like, was your friend... what was his medication that he was on?
Oh, so he... I think it was Oxycontin. From memory, But his issue was literally drug addiction. And then he came off... and then started going down the path. But
and we find, like, and I'm just going to use, heroin's an example, but cannabis is another, and alcohol. People who are on those type of substances, because they're all downers, right? They find when they come off it, when they withdraw off it, and sometimes these substance use or substance addictions can cause anxiety. And the reason why is because they're downers, so they're relaxed when they take them, right? So you remove that relaxant, what happens? You're in an elevated state. So, which other people either believe or perceive they've got anxiety, or they actually really do. So therefore they find they need to go back to the substance to help calm them down again. You find that I see a lot, I saw it when I did my drug and alcohol days, I saw it a lot in cannabis clients.
Oh really? More so than, is that just because of where we are, or the social demographic you were dealing with?
No.
It was just in general. Wow.
Cannabis had a lot more anxiety presentation than anything else. I mean, heroin had its own issues.
For sure.
Because of what you need to do to sustain such a habit. Where cannabis obviously doesn't have the same social components to it. But the cannabis was huge with anxiety. Huge.
That's fascinating. Is that, so irrespective of the fact that people thought they needed cannabis to escape their anxiety, or they needed it because they felt like without it they would have anxiety?
Yes, well, either or both. So, they would use it to self-medicate. Or self-medicate to their anxiety or whatever it might be.
Yes.
But also when they withdrew, they would experience anxiety.
Anxiety, yeah. Wow. And so what about the medication, the prescription medication in dealing with these issues? Like, what's your stance on that, I guess?
So, I kind of get a bit of a brief on before, and I should highlight that some antidepressants are used for anxiety.
Yep.
And I'm not a doctor or psychiatrist, so I won't go into detail, but I know that for some anxiety clients, they get them antidepressants, and some antidepressants are better anxiety than others.
Right.
But for people who have severe anxiety, benzodiazepines are the medication.
Yep.
So the Xanax and the Valium and so on and so forth, they're the ones I was talking about. But, addictive if we pick up. We can build a tolerance to them and therefore become addicted to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
so it's a very short-term treatment.
Yeah.
Or used for people who experience panic attacks.
Yes.
So they can take it and they can just irritably calm down so they get themselves safe again.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And then the goal would be to deal with the issues with psychotherapy.
Yep.
Or mindfulness and stuff.
In conjunction with the medication.
Yeah.
If that's where they started.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think if they start taking it every day, it gets hard.
Very hard, yeah.
So if they're not experiencing the symptoms of anxiety, we can't really put in our psychological intervention.
Well, that's my biggest thing is that for me personally, and again, this is only just from my perspective, but the times that I look back, in being the best times for me for getting through this were the times I was most afraid, because I needed to feel that to sort of go, this sucks and this is just awful, and I need to know this feeling and understand it so that I'll be motivated to not be here. Yeah. But if you're always feeling on this sort of line of okay or mediocrity, I don't know, I just wouldn't, for me personally, I wouldn't have any motivation to do anything about it.
It's a balance, isn't it? You've got to get that, they've got to be a little bit uncomfortable, but not too.
Yeah.
Because they get too uncomfortable, they can just flee.
Yeah.
And go back to what they know is best.
Yeah.
But they need to be challenged, otherwise they can't try the physical or the cognitive interventions that we want to provide them.
Exactly, yeah. And so a rough treatment plan, does it differ depending on the person, or would you say less than a year roughly, or completely different?
Completely different. Yeah. I mean, and you were also talking about anxiety is the only thing that got presented to them. And unfortunately that's not the case.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be the primary thing and so on. But I've had clients who 6 sessions is enough.
Yeah. And then cool. Yeah.
I've had ones for 2 years. So there's it's hard to even define a timeline.
Yeah.
But I think anxiety is it's very treatable as long as you have someone who's motivating the room. Who's going, a bit of this is happening to me. I want to work through this. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
I don't want to rely on medication or whatever it is anymore.
Yeah. No, because for me it was never. I've often thought about it, but I just felt like I was okay before without medication. I can get through it without medication. I remember thinking, oh, now I've got anxiety. My world's gonna, that's it. That's it. I'm done. I've got it. It's I've got herpes.
Yeah.
I don't. But I think if I can get through it without medication, you can get yourself right again.
That's the other fatalistic thing we do, isn't it? We go, I'll live this forever.
Yeah, I'm done.
Just because I have it now means I'll live this forever.
Yes, exactly.
Or because I've just treated it means I don't have to worry about all that other stuff anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the other thing we find as well.
Yeah, well, I'm fully aware that, there'll be stages in my life that I'll probably get super anxious again, but I've got these great tools in place now where I can work through it. And even things like with a new job and, a new relationship and all these sort of things, there's volatile things. But it's just better to have these processes in place. You're not starting from scratch again, and it's more to do with life experience. I know I've got to get you out of here, mate, and by get out of here, I mean I've got to leave because this is your place. I just wanted to say one more final thing, one more final question. Where would you like to see the sort of general perspective of anxiety and depression in the sort of next 20 years? Do you feel like it's come a long way, or do you feel like there are certain things that still need to be evolved? Or?
Yep. Yeah. It has come a long way, no doubt. But what would I like to see? I would like us to see, where we are the scale of healthy or unhealthy in terms of our mental health. But I would like to see us having kind of mental health plans or daily activities. And some of us do this pretty well, something that we try and teach. No matter where you are, on the spectrum of health or healthy or unhealthy psychologically. But we actually do things, we actually acknowledge that things that we do is for our mental health each day.
Yeah.
So I think we would, right now, I think we're pretty good for our physical health, looking at diet and activity and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And we've improved on things like cigarettes, and we've really improved on things like environment. I think we could actually go, okay, what does I need to do today for my mental health?
Yeah.
And actually be quite feeling more comfortable to call it that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Totally agree. And I think, the more we are comfortably able to say things like anxiety, depression, mental health, not feeling okay, all this sort of stuff, the easier it's going to be. Because at the end of the day, I feel like mental health is everything, Things can go your way and all sort of stuff, but if you're not seeing it in a positive light, you're just not going to be good. You're not going to be happy. Yeah. Anyway,
proactive approach.
Yeah.
It'd be great to have a workplace to go into, and at 10:30 and 3 o'clock every day, there's a 15-minute window to have a meditation room.
Yeah, exactly.
And it would just be there, and people would just optionally do it to refresh and restart again.
Yeah.
But I'd almost guarantee it would increase productivity.
Oh, 100%. 100%, yeah, it'd be good. We should start one. Always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you very much. Cool. There you go. There was part 2 of the interview with Michael Inglis. I absolutely love that guy. He seriously knows what he's talking about. He talks in a very relaxed way. He's not intimidating. So, I mean, if you are, I'm just going to plug him for you. If you are in the Melbourne area and you do feel like you sort of just need a bit of a chat or something along those lines, go on the Mind Room website. It's just themindroom.com.au from memory. It's in Collingwood in Melbourne. It is just a fantastic place. My mate who is on the podcast with me at Adventure Fit Radio, Bill and I have both been there. Obviously, you know my story with it. Bill's been there as well a bunch of times. It's totally awesome. And I really feel like they're at the forefront of what psychology or clinical psychology is probably going to look like in the next sort of 10 to 15 years, where they're really implementing these skills for people to take home with so that they can combat and reduce their symptoms in the long run. It's not just getting rid of the issue for the time being and then subsequently getting back into it later down the track. It's skills for life, really. I think I said in the interview, it's all about if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he'll never go hungry. It's stuff like that they're doing, and I think it's fantastic. But yeah, that was part 2, guys. Please hit us up on social medias. My Instagram is tom.ahern, Ahern for Nirvana. Facebook, all that sort of thing. And then obviously the YouTube channel, guys. I really love reading your comments, and I know I keep saying it a lot, but I'm genuinely overwhelmed by the feedback I've been getting. So it's exciting. Yeah, I'll speak to you soon.